Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Rajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Rajajanaranjana Jamunatira Tira Nacha Jayarada Madhavu Punjabiyani Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabiyani Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Rajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Rajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila
Prabhu,
Prabhupada,
Jaya, Shri Prabhu, Jaya,
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jaya, Prabhupada, Jaya, Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya
Jaya,
Prabhupada,
Jaya,
Jaya
Jaya,
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya, Prabhupada,
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya
Jaya, Jaya, Gurudev, 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 Jaya, Gurudev,
Jai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.
Haribo.
Don't know why devotees come in late today. Have you tried to call some of them?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Dalavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, they have been alerts in the student group, but it's unfortunate that they are still not here. But hopefully they will be joining soon. Africa time.
Let's see what happens.
Yes.
Let me try to call some of them.
Okay, so I will also do the same.
Haribo?
Yeah, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Devaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vas.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, very small group today, only 2 students.
Guru Maharaj.
I heard you say they're coming soon?
Yeah, maybe they will join surely.
Maybe.
Some of them will come. Solid, some like some coming late.
Well, there's always, connection problems and this and that. So we're on verse 10, is that what you said?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, verse 10. Yes.
Yeah, these chats, they're very small print, hard to read.
Yes.
2 more just came. So that's the end of the book. So we have to start as usual with the 4 6s. Who can tell us the first four, the first six? Verse 1. The six pushings. All right, anybody?
What are the six pushings? The six urges. Unmute yourself and speak. Don't feel shy. Stephen Gomida, speak. We have heard from beginning. What are the six urges, the six pushings? Mrs. Ashton. Uchechi, what is your name? Put it on your distance so that we can call you. So what are the six urges?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to all of them. Calling their name one by one.
All on one. Stephen Govinda, what is the six pushings?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, in the verse 1, we learned the six pushings. One should not eat more than necessary.
No, that's verse 2. Six pushings. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krota Vegam.
Okay. The six pushings. Yes. The edge to speak. Like controlling of the mind.
Demands the mind. The urge to speak demands the mind.
The man's the mind.
Yes. Continue.
Vacho Vegam. That means, Vacho means the words, talking. That's pushing. Manasa Vegam. That's another one. And the next one is?
Kroda.
Krota. What's Krota?
Anger. The urge.
If you don't know it, you can always look it up, but okay, that's 3.
Then the
Next 3 are very easy. The down line.
urge of the tongue, the belly, and genital.
Who's saying that? Stephen?
No, Kavicandra put that.
Don't fill in for them, let somebody else do it.
Very good, Maharaj.
Somebody else can say the 6 pushings? Chintamani? I think you know.
Just coming. Yes, here we know. Kechi, on your mic and speak. This is interactive class. Don't hide behind the mic and just stay there as if you are just forced to be there. On your mic, speak. Look at the book if you want to look. Nobody is monitoring you.
Chintamani's mic is open. So tell us, what are the 6 pushings? Verse 1.
Oh, he has not, Chitamani has not put his mic. Guru Maharaj is coming.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so in the test 1, the 6 pushings means the edge to speak, the mind's demand, the action of anger, and the edge of the tongue. The belly and genitals is also qualified to make disciple all over the world.
Yeah, one who can control those 6 pushings, yeah. One who can control those and not be controlled by them. So it doesn't say there will never be any pushing. There'll never be desires, there'll never be problems. But a self-controlled person will not give in to those pushings. He will say no, somebody off, the anger. somebody insults you, you feel angry, but you say, no, I won't be angry. All right, very good. Now, the next one is 6 things that are unfavorable, right? That's first 2.
Yes, Maharaj. The second verse is eating more than necessary. Discussing about mundane activities. Discussing about associating with worldly minded people, and okay,
that's
okay, and talking unnecessarily about mundane subjects.
yeah.
Practicing the spiritual rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement.
And the other side of it?
And the other side of it, rejecting the rules and regulations.
Right. So let's just go back to number 1 and recite the Sanskrit a couple times.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
It makes it easier to remember. I'll read one line at a time. You can all repeat. Everyone can open their microphone. We'll have a little chaos. Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam.
Vacho vegam
kroda vegam.
Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam.
Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam.
Jiva vegam udarapasta vegam.
Jiva vegam udarapasta vegam.
So that one, udara, that means the belly. So we know Damodara, he was tied up around the belly. So that can remember that one. Vegam, it's pushing. Vegan people, the same spelling. But so Etan vegam yoga saheta dira.
Etan vegam
yoga saheta dira.
That means one who can control all these urges, can tolerate them, is sober. And sarvam apimam pritivim ashishya.
Sarvam
apimam pritimam sasat.
Then that person can make disciples all over the world. Because he doesn't give in to all these urges. The urges may be there, but of course they get weaker and weaker, get older. But now you see, some old people are desperate for sense gratification. As soon as they feel like smoking or drinking or sex, they just do it. Other people, it's stealing or something more gross, but they get angry so easy because they never tried to control and think of Krishna. The only way to really control is to be understanding Krishna is in our heart and everyone else's heart. And these external circumstances come and go all the time. These kind of urges, they come, and if we don't act on them, they go away very quickly. But if you just try to hide them, they don't go away, they just burn, So we have to throw them out. No, I don't want that. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be, eating and eating just for the sake of eating, just for something to do with the tongue, talking on. All right, so somebody else say the Sanskrit, say the whole verse. Kavi, who say Chintamani. Just read off the whole
Chintamani. Chintamani, are you there? You can just off your camera and speak if your network is not good.
Yeah, turn off your camera there. You got too much backlight. Can't see you anyway. You want to see by hearing.
Or Jamastami, you can read the verse. Jamastami there?
Wow.
Like Chintamani is traveling. Prabhu, you can go ahead and read the verse, the whole verse.
The verse or the purport?
The verse. We're just doing revision. We're going back to start from where we stopped.
Okay. Oh. Vacho vegam anasa krodam vegam jiva vegam udara vegam etam vegam yogi shastram sava vegam apima pritam sasisyat. Translation. A sober person who can tolerate the urges to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Purport.
No.
In Srimad Bhakti.
Okay. We're doing revision.
Okay, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
All right, let's go to number 2. I'll read the Sanskrit a few times also. See, the Sanskrit's very sweet, and if you learn the Sanskrit words, then it's much easier to remember the whole thing.
Text 2.
When we learn Sanskrit, we have to concentrate more. You know, the other words we know already, so we forget them easy. It's life. You know? Okay, achahara prayasas cha.
Achara prayasas cha.
Achahara prayasas cha.
Atyahara prayasa cha.
Achahara means eating too much or collecting too much, more than necessary. So that might not necessarily mean collecting more money, but just collecting more things, having more clothes, more cars, or more, you know, haircuts or wigs or anything like that. Collecting too much, which is, you know, the common modern society is encouraging that like anything. You know, you'll be happy by getting more things, right?
Yes.
The people that invented advertising, they saw that, you know, they're manufacturing, and if they just depend on, you know, the need for new things, they won't have very much business. So they created advertising. And they say it's to make you buy things that you don't need. And then they come up with a credit card or something with money you don't have to impress people that don't care. You know, you think I have to fix my hair, I have to get, you know, have this kind of car, but people just get envious. They don't, it isn't that they think you're a great person just because you have more. So it's like simplicity is an opulence. Simple living and high thinking is a serious motto of our African movement. And we should, it doesn't mean you just are poor or something. It just means you don't complicate your life. You know, you just have the minimum. You eat what you need to stay alive. Okay, then prajalpo niyamagraha, repeat.
Niyamagraha.
Drapo Niyamagraha.
Niyamagraha.
What is Prajalpa?
Idle talk.
Idle talk.
Or useless talk, or mundane talk.
Mundane
Talks
talk.
that are materialistic talk, conversations are cool.
Gossip. You know, gossip, right?
Gossip, yes, Guru Maharaj, gossip.
That's called Gramya Kata, village talk. You know, did you hear this? Did you hear that? And now they've get out to the, you know, the whole world is your village because you have all this internet and, you know, world news and everything. And people get caught up just talking about that. The newspaper is basically all Prajalpa. And yeah, in Nigeria, so many newspapers. And people read only small part of the newspapers, you know, which part they like. When I was with Charlie Boy, he would buy all the newspapers. You know, he'd stop his car and buy all the newspapers from somebody. And he would look through them really quick just to see if there was anything about him and then throw them away. And in America, they have this ridiculous Sunday newspaper. It's like 2 inches thick. So it has the movies and it has this social and the advertisements and so many things, you know, all expanded. And I was at the airport. I saw one guy, he bought that newspaper and he was standing next to the trash basket and he threw about more than 90% of it in the trash. He just kept like 1 or 2 little sections that he wanted to read. But they chopped down so many trees and so much energy to print all that. And it just, you know, people use it to wrap their garbage or something. So then the next word, Niyamagraha, is very interesting because it's a combination of the 2 words. And so it has double meaning. Niyama means rules and regulations. In yoga, you know, we know about asana and we know about samadhi or something, but the first 2 things is yama and niyama. That means things you should do and things you shouldn't do. Rules and regulations, no thieving, no lying, you know, things like that. No violence. So, and agraha means too much attachment for the rules and regulations. I mean, in thinking I'm great because I'm a vegetarian, or I'm great because I go to Mangalartik and I'm better than the other devotees who don't do that kind of thing. And not doing it for spiritual advancement, just doing it for some mundane reason. And then agraha means too much neglect, not following the rules and regulations, thinking I don't have to follow, I'm very advanced, I chant every day, you know. I've been a devotee for so long, I don't need to follow these rules. I don't need to listen to the temple president. I don't need to go to Mangalarti. I've already done that, you know, that kind of foolishness. So those 2 things. And then jana sangha. Jana means that ordinary people. Association with worldly mind people. Because if you hear them talking about all their material desires, you know, we'll start to want them. Also think, oh yeah, they're talking about how much fun they had out drinking the night before and how many girls they met or something, you know, or how they got a brand new, really rich boyfriend and they're so happy and he gave them a, you know, the first, you know, designer purse or whatever, African, or, you know, they gave him a Brazilian hair wig or something, you know, so, right?
Yes, go for it.
Yeah, that's the most expensive hair, you know, the Brazilian and the Indian.
Yes.
And these rich women, they pay thousands of dollars for wigs. So it doesn't look like a wig. These plastic wigs look like wigs, and usually they don't fit, and they're not very attractive. Then lolium, that means greed for material things. There's also lolium is a spiritual greed for devotional service.
Lolium.
Yeah, that's good. So somebody read the whole verse in Sanskrit.
Verse at Atyara Prasacha Prajapadoniyamagra Jana Sangacha Nulamcha Nabe Bhakti Vinasyati. Translation. Once devotional service is spoiled, when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities. 1. Eating more than necessary or collecting more than funds that required. 2. Over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. 3. Talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. 4. Practicing the spiritual rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and the regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. 5. Associating with worldly-minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And 6. Being greedy for mundane achievements. Purport.
No.
Okay.
We are doing revision.
There are 6 enemies of the mind. Everyone has the same enemies. And very important to understand it. Anybody know those 6 enemies?
These enemies of the mind. Want to tell us the 6 enemies of the mind? Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
I would like to try.
Try.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna made us understood that there are 6 enemies, and that are anger, greed, lust, enviness, and pride.
You try. Well done. Clap for yourself. I would have loved you mentioned them in the order of in degree of how Krishna mentioned them, the way you said. Okay. Someone else want to try?
Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Lust, anger, and greed. And of course, they're all products of lust. So Krishna says in the beginning, you have to curb this all-devouring sinful of enemy, lust. Lust, anger, and greed, then envy and madness. What's the other one? Envy.
Illusion.
Matsarya?
Illusion.
Illusion.
That's good.
6 enemies. And it's the same enemies for everybody. At one time in Ghana, I had to take a taxi from the airport. In the old days when we didn't have cars and phones, and and so the driver, he was very nice. He was a very Christian guy, and he asked me about Hare Krishna. So I just started talking about these 6 enemies, and he was really, he loved that. He thought, that's right, that's wonderful, So if you ever have, some kind of interfaith or something, we don't have to talk, well, Krishna is the best and Bhagavad Gita is the greatest. We have to, they all agree on this. Everybody has this somewhere in their scripture. Maybe not, these are what are the cardinal sins in the Catholic Church? The 7 main sins are basically the same thing. And so this way we can preach to anybody and to ourselves also to understand. you know, these people are not our enemy. The enemy is these things. Everyone has the same enemies. So you know, this list is very good. So achahara prayasas cha prajalpo niyamagraha jana sangas chalalayam cha. So it's very clear, you know, it's just so simple. And all right, let's go to the next verse. The 6 things that are favorable. Now, in one sense, it's better to focus on these things and do, but I just heard somebody, you know, these scientists, and they're always analyzing everything. So the question was, somebody asked, what's more important, more positive thinking or less negative thinking? You understand?
Yes, good Maharaj.
You know, because we have negative thinking. Oh, I can't do this. I'm no good. Africa's poor. We can't preach. You know, many negative things are coming in our mind all the time. I'm a white man. What can I do here? You know, I don't know the local language. I'm no education. You know, so many negative things. I made so many mistakes in the past. Or more positive thoughts. And the answer is, it's more important to have less negative thinking, because negative thinking really ruins you, and you know, you can just get caught up in just repeating it over and over and over again, and for no benefit for anybody, you know. But and of course, if we reduce the negative thinking, we'll probably have more positive thinking, because you can't stop thinking. My buddies say just stop thinking, but that's not possible. We're saying, you know, change your thinking. Think of Krishna, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto. Okay, so the 6 favorable things, who can say before we read it?
Who wants to try the 6 favorable things? On your mic and go ahead, just say it.
Hare Krishna. Yes, the 6 favorable things, by being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, and being patient, and acting according to the regulative principles, and abandoning the association of non-devotees, and also following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Was that from memory?
It's from the book.
When you keep reading it, it's, you know, the way to learn things is repetition. So, utsahan nischayat. Utsa means enthusiasm. So let's read that. Utsahan nischayat dhairyat.
Utsahan nischayat dhairyat.
Utsahan nischayat dhairyat.
Utsahan nischayat dhairyat.
Okay, what does utsaha mean?
Enthusiasm.
Yes.
Who knows a definition of enthusiasm?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
To my understanding, enthusiasm is, I mean, full determination, like being unshakable or unchangeable. I mean, being undisturbed. Hare Krishna.
Okay, you're jumping ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Balalila, go ahead.
That's the next one. The next one is determination.
Being pleased with what you are doing.
Yeah, something like that. The dictionary says
Or having confidence and reliable in what you are doing.
You are going to the next one.
enthusiasm.
Means eagerness.
Enthusiasm means intense and eager enjoyment, interest.
Interest.
I want to do it. I want to do it. I'm enthusiastic. I think it'll really help me. That's enthusiasm. So the similar words are eagerness, fervor, passion. You know, you really want to do it. That's enthusiasm. And that has to be there. Without enthusiasm, you're not going to do anything, you know, right?
Yes.
But then the next one, utsaha nischayat. Nischayat means
confidence.
Confidence. So that's what you were saying, what determination means. Confidence means I know it's going to work, you know, and you keep going no matter it seems like it's not working, things like that. You believe in it. Because enthusiasm can fizzle out very quickly. If we think I'm going to get, you know, there's some kind of spectacular result in a few minutes and we don't get it, then we might think, oh, this doesn't work. Let me do something else. We find that happening with devotees' preaching plans a lot. You know, they decide on some strategy, some plan, and then, you know, they don't get like all kinds of new devotees right away or donations, and they throw it out and try another one. They don't give it a chance to really work, you know. And nowadays people, you know, they get married and they get divorced like really quickly. At least in America. Maybe Africa is a little better still because they have some more religious sentiments. But I don't know. So then, and then the most important one is daryat, and that means patience. So what is patience? You want to hear the dictionary? It's always good to look in the dictionary. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. Tolerance, forbearance, self-restraint, you know, stoicism. It's most important. If we're not patient, we'll just lose enthusiasm. We'll get angry and we'll think you know, I'm doing so nicely, I'm so fired up, but then it's not working because someone else is troubling me and things like that. Okay, so utsaha nischayat daryat. Patience is very important. We can't expect instant results for anything. Then, what's the next line?
That karma.
Sangha tyaga sato vrite. So Sangha tyaga, that's just exactly what the other verse said. It said jana sangha, give it up. And then this one says, you know, associate with devotees. Giving up the association of non-devotees. That's the same thing. It says association of non-devotees is bad, and so the good is to give that up. And then follow the acharyas, follow in their footsteps. Okay. Sangha tyaga sato vrite, repeat.
Sangha tyaga
vrite.
Sadhu bhakti prasidati.
Bhakti prasidyate.
Sadhu bhakti prasidati.
Sadhu bhakti
Bhakti
prasidati.
prasidyate.
Okay, that means these 6 things will be very good for you. By these 6 things, you can make advancement. Read the English. Somebody didn't read before. Janmashtami.
Jamastami,
Hi, Krishna Gurudev.
read.
The translation of text 3.
Yes.
It says the
Okay.
host has stopped my video.
Hi, Krishna. There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service: being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna, abandoning the association of non-devotees, and following the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I've read it.
Very good. Okay, then the 6 loving exchanges. Verse number 4. These are,
The translation. Okay.
I'll read the Sanskrit a couple times. Dadati pratigrinati.
Dadati Pratiginati,
Dadati Pratiganati,
Guyam akyati.
Guyam
Guyam Akyati Richati
Chati,
Bhungte bojayate chaiva.
Bhunke
Bhujyati Chaiva.
Chaiva.
Sadvir bhaktim prasidjati.
Sadvidam
Sadvidam Priti Laksyanam.
Lakshanam.
Okay. Dadati means giving in charity. And pratigrinati, it means accept in return. So somebody has to give, somebody has to receive. If I want to give charity, but no one will take it, then I'll be frustrated. If I need charity and no one will give it, I'll be frustrated also. But in our devotee relationships, we all need to give and take at different times. You know, it may not be just money or something, but just loving exchanges, just, you know, anything. But somebody has to give, somebody has to take, both. Then Guyam Akyati Pritchati, explaining and inquiring about confidential topics. So that doesn't mean we just say, oh, my mind is so disturbed and I have so many desires and I want to, you know, go wallow in the mud with the pigs, but which may be true, but also inquiring how to serve Krishna, you know, what is real devotional service, you know, how much we feel happy when we do preaching or Harinam, or when we, you know, read the Bhagavatam or those kind of discussions. That's how we should be, amongst ourselves. That's the kind of conversations we should be having. Then, Bhungte Bojayate Chaiva. Giving prasadam and taking prasadam. That's another kind of charity. Okay, so somebody else can say them again, English or Sanskrit.
Someone want to read in English or Sanskrit?
Translation.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, madam.
I want to read.
Yes.
Offering gifts to charity. Accepting charitable gifts. Revealing one's mind in confidence. Inquiring confidentially. Accepting prasad and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another.
Yeah, so we can try to practice those things, right? Serving prasadam, giving prasadam. Like Indians have that culture, they always want to give prasadam to the devotees. But that's, most cultures have that. If you have guests, you want to feed them, So that's what Food for Life and things like that is all about, giving prasadam. That's like very powerful preaching. Okay, so very good. Please keep reading these because these are like the essence of the whole thing. If you just study all the other verses, they're expanding on these principles from the first 4 verses, focusing in on different parts of it, chanting or this and that. So we're now on, where did you say, Kavi? Chapter verse 10?
Yeah, verse 10. Yes, Guru Maharaj. We are in verse 10.
From the beginning of verse 10 or?
Yeah, beginning of verse 10. We finished verse 9 the last time.
Okay.
Am I correct? The class, are you with me?
Verse or test?
The test. Which test are we today?
Okay.
Okay, these are Sanskrit, a little bit longer, different.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, it's verse 10. Last week you tweeted the verse 9 and I listened on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Karmibhya parito hare priyataya bhaktim yayur janinas. Karma viparito hare priyataya bhaktim yayur janinas. Very long sentences.
Good, Maharaj.
Different type of sentences. Tebhyo jnana vimukta bhakti paramaha premaika nishtas tata. Tebhyastha pashupala pankaja dishas tabhyopi saradika. Preshta tadvadiyam tadiya sadasitam nashrayet ka kriti. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not a sloka, it's prose Sanskrit, so it's difficult. But I'll read it a couple more times and we'll do the word. Karmibhya parito hare priyataya bhaktim yayor janinas Tebyo Gyana Vimukta Bhakti Parama Premaika Nishtastata Tebyas Ta Pashupala Pankaja Dishas Tabyo Pisa Radhika Presta Tadvat Iyam Tadiya Sadasi Tam Nashrayet Kakriti. Okay, the Karmibhya means, and repeat this, Karmibhya,
Kamebia,
then all fruitive activities.
than
Than all fruitive activities.
Parita,
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 in all respect.
in all
in
respect.
all respect.
Hare,
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 by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
By
by
the
the
Supreme
Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Priyataya,
Priyataya.
Priyataya,
because of being favored.
because
because
of
of
being
being favored.
Yaktim
Vyaktim.
Vyaktim
Yayu.
Yayu.
Yayo, Vyaktim Yayo.
It is said in the Shastra.
It
It
is
is
said
said
in
in
the
the
Shastra.
Gyanina,
Jnana,
Jnana,
those advanced in knowledge.
those advanced
advanced
in
in
knowledge.
knowledge.
Tebya, superior to them.
Tebia,
Superior
Superior to them.
to them.
Jnana Vimukta,
Jnana,
Jnana
Jnana
Vimukta.
Vimukta,
liberated by knowledge.
liberated by
Liberated by
by
knowledge.
knowledge.
Bhakti Parama, those engaged in devotional service.
Bhakti
Bhakti
Parama,
Parama, those engaged
engaged
in devotional service.
Prema Ekanishta,
Prema
Prema
Ekanishta,
Ekanista,
those who have attained pure love of God.
those
those who have attained pure love of God.
Tata,
Tata,
superior to them.
superior to them.
Superior to them.
Tebya,
Tebia,
Tebya,
better than them.
better than them.
Ta, they.
Ta, de,
Ta, they.
Pashupala, Pankaja Drisha,
Pashupala,
Pashupala, Pankajala, Drisha.
the gopis who are always dependent on Krishna, the cowherd boy.
The gopis who are always dependent on Krishna, the cowhead boy.
Tabya, above all of them.
above all of them.
Tebya, above all of them.
Sa, api,
Happy,
Api,
certainly.
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 Sa, she,
Sa, she,
She,
Radhika, Shrimati Radhika,
Radhika,
Radhika, Srimati Radhika,
Shrestha, very dear.
Krishna,
Krishna, very dear.
Tadvat, similarly.
Tadvat, Similarly.
Iyam, this.
This.
Tadiya Sarasi, her lake.
Adia,
Sadia
Sarasi.
Sarasi, her lake.
G Radhakund.
Sri
Shiradakun.
Radhakund.
Tom Radhakund.
Tam Radakun.
Tam Radhakund.
Na, not.
Na, not.
Not.
Ashraye would take shelter.
Ashraye.
Ashraye
Take
would
shelter.
take shelter of.
Pa, who?
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 Kirti,
Kriti.
most fortunate.
Most
fortunate.
All right. Who will read the translation?
Hare Krishna. In the Shastris, it is said that all of Hare Krishna. In the Shastra, it is said that all types of fruitive workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Dhyanis, one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has fully attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna. The transcendental cowherd boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. Her Kund lake is also profoundly dear to Lord Krishna as this most beloved of the gopis, who then will not reside at Radhakund and in a spiritual body subcharged with aesthetic devotional feelings. Aprakata Bhava. Render loving service to the divine couple, Sri Sri Radha Govinda, who perform their Asta Kaliya Lila, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes. Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radhakund are the most fortunate people in the universe. Hare Krishna.
That's quite a long sloka, huh?
Yes, right.
So it's getting up to the topmost. But, you know, I remember I used to look at books and just go to the back of the book right away and find out how it ends. But we can't apply that in this book because it's a step-by-step process. You know, first we have to conquer the 6 pushings, and then we have to eliminate the things that are bad and do the things that are good, and, you know, step by step, and then we can actually reside at Radhakund. Otherwise, we might be like the turtle in Radhakund. There's fish in there and there's turtles, but they're not the same, you know. But we can, you know, meditate on it. We can go there. We can get some water. We can pray to because the energy, the spiritual energy there of all the saintly devotees who have lived there in the past and are still living there, and so much chanting and, so much has gone on there, so we can benefit. But don't think, well, I'll just live there and just be a Babaji. Okay, so purport. Purport, anybody? I guess we have to assign somebody, right?
Yeah, yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
At the present moment, almost everyone is engaged in some kind of fruitive activity. Those who are desirous of gaining material profit by working are called kamis, or fruitive workers. All living entities within this material world have come under the spell of Maya. This is described in the Vishnu Purana 6, verse 761.
6.7,
61. Yes. Vishnu Saktya Para Protika Kestra Janakya Tata Para Avidya Kama Sam Janaya Tirita Saka Isayat. Okay. Sages who divided the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead into three categories, namely the spiritual energy, marginal energy, and material energy. The material energy is considered to be the third class energy, Tritiya Saktya. Those living beings within the jurisdiction of the material energy sometimes engage themselves like dogs and hogs in working very hard simply for sense gratification. However, in this life or after, in this life or after executing pious activities, in the next life, some karmis become strongly attached to performing various kinds of sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. Thus, on the strength of their pious merit, they are elevated to heavenly planets. Actually, those who perform sacrifices strictly, according to Vedic injunctions, are elevated to the moon and planets above the moon. As mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 9, verse 21, Krishna Panye Maktya Lokam Vishanti. After exhausting the results of their so-called pious activities, they again return to the earth, which is called Matya Loka, the place of death. Okay. Although such persons may be elevated to the heavenly planet by their pious activities, and although they may enjoy life there for many thousands of years, they nonetheless must return to this planet when the results of their pious activities are exhausted. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So Bhagavad Gita, where does the Bhagavad Gita say that? 9:21. Anybody has access to it? Important verse. Can you put it up?
Okay, go Maharaj.
You got it?
Yeah, just 1 minute more. 9:21. Yeah, I got it, man. Coming up.
Detam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam. Repeat.
Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam.
Te tam bhukta savara lokam visalam.
Jane punye marchalokam vishanti.
Shine punye
Sine
matyalo.
punye matyalokam visanti.
Evam trai dharma manu papapanam.
Evam tayi damam anuprapanam prapana.
Yatagam kama kamalabante.
Gatam kama labhyante.
Okay, someone else?
Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishanam. Shine punye matyalokam vishanti. Evam trai dharma anuprapana. Gatam gama kamalabate.
Okay, translation.
When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, and the result of their pious activity are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek the sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
All right. You got the previous verse also?
The previous verse, it's 20. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planet, worship me indirectly. Purify of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
And then when their time is up, they have to come back again. So
Yes.
it's not worth it to really strive so much for heavenly planets. But especially, like Christians and Muslims, I think, everyone who in their family, everyone who goes to the church, they went to heaven, they never say, oh, he went to hell. Oh, grandfather went to heaven, and everybody's having a party up there. No, it's not necessarily like that. Okay,
Yes, Maharaj.
so this world is called Marchaloka. It's a place of death. Repeated birth from the highest planet to the lowest. They're all places of misery where repeated birth and death take place. Okay, assign someone to read the next paragraph.
Okay. Baula Sapriti, are you there? Can read the next paragraph. Mother Gadari, please, you want to read? If he's not there.
Hare Krishna, I can continue.
Now let's someone else try. Mother Gadari, you want to read? Like today, everybody is just hiding behind the camera. Nobody want to say something. The network is not good. Well, the network is not good. Stephen, you can go ahead.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
This is the position of all
Not
karmis.
showing. My book is not closed.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is the position of all karmis, including those who are piously and this is the position of all karmis, including those who act piously and those who act impiously. On this planet, we find many businessmen, politicians, and others who are simply interested in material happiness. They attempt to earn money by all means, not considering whether such means are pious or impious. Such people are called karmis or gross materialists. Among the karmis are some vikamis, people who act without the guidance of Vedic knowledge. Those who act on the basis of Vedic knowledge perform sacrifices for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu and to receive benedictions from him. In this way, they are elevated to higher planetary systems. Such karmis are superior to the vikamis, for they are faithful to the directions of the Vedas and are certainly dear to Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita 4, verse 11, Krishna says, Ye yata mam pradayante tams tete yam te haiva bhajami aham. In whatever way one surrender unto me, I reward him accordingly. Krishna is so kind that he fulfilled the desires of the karmis and gyanis, not to speak of the bhaktas. Although the karmis are sometimes elevated to higher planetary systems, as long as they remain attached to fruitive activities, they must accept new material bodies after death. In one act piously, if one acts piously, he can attain a new body among the demigods in the higher planetary system, or he may attain some other position in which he can enjoy a higher standard of material happiness. On the other hand, those who are engaged in impious activities are degraded and take birth as animals, trees, and plants. Thus, those fruitive actors who do not care for the Vedic directions, vikamis, are not appreciated by learned saintly persons. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, verse
5.5.4.
5.5 verse 4.
Nuna kurute kwikarma ya indriya pritiya apnoki nasadu manye yata atmano yam asana pi krishada ashade ha.
Hare Krishna. Materialists who work hard like dogs and hogs simply for sense gratification are actually mad. They simply perform all kinds of abominable activities simply for sense gratification. Materialistic activities are not at all worthy of an intelligent man. For as a result of such activities, one gets a material body, which is full of misery. The purpose of human life is to get out of the threefold miserable conditions. Such are concomitant with material concomitant with material existence. Unfortunately, fruitive workers are mad to earn money and acquire temporal material comfort by all means. Therefore, they risk being degraded to lower species of life. Materialists foolishly make many plans to become happy in this material world. They do not stop to consider that they will live only for a certain number of years, out of which they must spend the major portion acquiring money for sense gratification. Ultimately, such activities end in death. Materialists do not consider that after giving up the body, they may become embodied as lower animals, plants, or trees. Thus, all their activities simply defeat the purpose of life. Not only are they born ignorant, but they act on the platform of ignorance, thinking that they are getting material benefits in the shape of skyscrapers, buildings, big cars, honorable positions, and so on. The materialists do not know that in the next life they will be degraded and that all their activities simply serve as parabhava, their defects. This is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam 5, 5, and 5.
5.555. 5.5.5.
5.5.5. Parabhava tad abodhya jata.
That is the end of that paragraph. Thank you.
Yes. So,
someone else want to read the next purport? Who is there?
Hare Krishna, please, I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, I'm tempted to inquire. In devotional service, we believe in advancement. Like even in chanting, we believe that one can gradually move from the offensive chanting to the offenseless chanting. So we believe in the param, like from the lowest to the highest, like the Kanista, Adhikari, Madhyama, and Uttama. So in the previous purport, we read that Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita that when one worship Lord Vishnu, he gets some benedictions and go to higher planets. And after enjoying he have to come back to this planet Earth. So my question is, why not move from that particular planet to a higher destination, but certainly have to come back on this Earth to begin with? Hare Krishna.
Follow the question, Kavi?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
You want to break it down?
Yes,
Anybody
it was.
Give some comment or answer? Anyone
Okay, Guru
else?
Maharaj. Yes. The conclusion of his question was when you like Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, after performing pious, when you perform the devotional service for a short time, then you go to a heavenly planet. After exhausting your pious activity, you come back to this earth. So he's asking, why can't that devotee move from that planet, heavenly planet, to the spiritual world? Why must I also come back to the earth, to this world? Did I get your question right?
Yes, please. Exactly.
Yes, I just tried to summarize what you said. Anybody want to answer? Maharaj is saying, anybody want to contribute to the answer? Baladi Lapabu, are you there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Please
Uh,
contribute to is the answer.
the answer I have for this is that you can still perform devotional service there and continue, go to the high planet or in the Vaikuntha or the spiritual world. But there, if you enjoy there and you don't perform devotional service there, then you can come back, as Krishna is saying. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your contribution. Someone else have something to say regarding this question?
Please accept my humble obeisances. The little that I can say is that Hare Krishna Prabhu.
You are behind behind the camera since. Please go ahead.
No, where I am, I cannot on my camera.
Oh yeah, please go ahead. We are hearing you.
What I can say about this purport is that, or the question that the Prabhu is asking is that the heaven kingdom or the heaven planet is also part of the material planet, just like the earth and all the planet, the sun and the moon, they are all material planet. And then it is said that at the end of the dissolution, all this material planet or all the material manifestation will be dissoluted. God, Krishna will destroy all these things. It's just like, for instance, I'm from Ghana and I'm now in India, but I have a period of time that I'm spending here. When the period elapses, I have to return back to Ghana because I have not had the qualification. I cannot, based on here, to go to different country. No, it's not possible like that. So I have to come to Ghana and then struggle again because that is my country of origin. That is where I took birth. So I have to come there. It is only in Earth planet that you have opportunity to practice devotional service. That is why it is said even the demigod are queuing up to take birth in the planet Earth so they can practice devotional service. So that is why they say that worshiping a demigod is not what? It's not an intelligent act. Because when we are on this earth and we have this body, the good thing or the most intelligent thing to do is to worship God and to serve Krishna well, to be able to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. But if you're not able to go and worship any demigod or any other thing and we achieve their planet at the end of it, or at the end, we'll come back when our pious activity has exhausted. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. Someone else want to have something to say? Okay, I will just say something also regarding the Prabhu's question. Just like others have mentioned, this earth is called Karma Bhumi. Karma Bhumi means the field of action. So when we act, if it's positive, there is pious activities, so we go to heaven to enjoy it. So it's not just like when you have plenty of money, just like Baulasa Prabhu gave example of himself. He's in India now because he has money to go to India. Once his visa finished and his money finished, bam, he will be thrown back to Ghana. Then he has to take another visa to go to another, So the same thing also, when you perform pious activity, you go to heavenly planets, you enjoy it. Only very few people who are intelligent can take advantage of there to go to higher planets. But generally, people go there, they enjoy. When the pious credits finish, they come back on earth. The same thing also, when you perform sinful activities, you go to hell. You get punishment there to atone for your sin. Then when that is finished also, you come back to earth. So it's only on this earth that it's easy for you to act, to perform activity for either to enjoy or to suffer or to go back to the kingdom of God. Okay? So that is why the earth is called Karma Bhumi, the field of action. Okay? So that is what I can say. Any other person want to say something? Guru Maharaj, you want to say something regarding that?
Well, I heard somebody said something about you could go to Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha, there's the heavenly planets, you have to fall down after a while. It's like a paid vacation or something, you know, or you win a prize in some contest and you get 2 weeks vacation at the Hilton Hotel and in you know, some nice place, and you get everything in room service and prostitutes and then, but when your 2 weeks is up, you can't stay any longer. You have to go. The heavenly planet is like that. You can enjoy like anything, but you have a time you can stay, and you can't increase that time while you're there. Although some people in the heavenly planets, they can worship Vishnu and progress. In the Vaikuntha, normally everyone stays, it's eternal. It's not like you have to leave. But you can if you want. If you get envious and you think, I don't like, you know, worshiping Vishnu like this, I want to be worshipped, then you can come back. All right?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
So any kind of material progress is like that. It's not going to last. So the wise man, he just simplifies his life. If he's very rich, he may have a nice everything, but his life is simple. He doesn't complicate everything so much, you know. He focuses on his work, his spiritual life, or you know, even these big billionaire people, they have no spiritual life, but they are very focused on their work, you know, and so they keep making more and more money, but they're not enjoying it because they just want more. You know, it's just a burden at the time of death. Okay?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
I think there's a lot more in this purport.
Yes, there's a lot more in the purport. Yes, Guru
This
Maharaj.
verse from the,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble greetings. This is Balalila.
yeah,
Maharaj, please, I'm not all that clear. I want to be sure whether if one goes to the heaven planet, is it automatic that he will come back or he can make further progress? Please, that's my question.
I said that, I think that as far as I've heard, sometimes someone makes progress there, but generally no.
Okay.
It's go and you enjoy. But sometimes there is worship of Vishnu, and if somebody takes that up, but usually they're too distracted by the material enjoyment.
Okay. Okay.
So don't take a chance, in other words. Don't think, well, I'll go to the heavenly planet and I'll enjoy, you know. Nowadays, they don't even think of heavenly planet. They just think I'll do anything I can to get rich, and then I'll be happy. I can chant Hare Krishna. Then I can sleep.
Okay.
Doesn't work.
Okay.
Get more
Thank you
distracted.
very much, Maharaj.
Okay, so the verse
Thank
here
you very much.
from the 5th canto is a very good one. Nunam pramatak kurute vikarma yad indriya pritaya aprinoti nasadu manye yata atmano yam asanapi kleshada asadeha. Materialists who seek, who work hard like dogs and hogs simply for sense gratification are actually mad. They simply perform all kinds of abominable activities simply for sense gratification. Materialistic activities are not at all worthy of the intelligent man, for as a result of such activities, one gets a material body which is full of misery. Very powerful. This is the teachings of Lord Rishabdev. We should pay a lot of attention to this. Those are very wonderful teachings. Okay, next.
Balalila Prabhu, please, can you continue?
Yes, please. One should therefore be eager to understand the science of the soul, Atma Tattva, unless one comes to the platform of Atma Tattva, the soul is oneself. One remains on the platform of ignorance. Out of thousands and even millions of ignorant people who are wasting their time simply gratifying their senses, one may come to the platform of knowledge and understand higher values of life. Such a person is called a jnani. The jnani knows that fruitive activities will bind him to material existence and cause him to transmigrate from one kind of body to another. As indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam, by the term Sharira Bandha, bound to bodily existence. As long as one maintains any conception of sense gratification, sense enjoyment, his mind absorbed in karma, oblige him from. Thus, a jnani is considered superior to a kami because he at least refrains from the blind activities of sense enjoyment. This is the verdict of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, although a jnani may be liberated from the ignorance of the karmis, unless he comes to the platform of devotional service, he is still considered to be in ignorance, avidya. Although one may be accepted as a jnani or one advanced in knowledge, his knowledge is considered impure because he has no information of devotional service and thus neglects the direct worship of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When a jnani takes to devotional service, he rapidly becomes superior to an ordinary jnani. Such an advanced person is described as jnana vimukta bhakti parama. How a jnani takes to devotional service is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 verse 19, wherein Krishna says, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva savamat iti sa mahatma sudalabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrender unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very real. Actually, a person is wise when he surrenders unto the lotus feet of Krishna, but such a Mahatma, great soul, is very real. After taking to devotional service under the regulative principles, a person may come to the platform of spontaneous love of God, following in the footsteps of great devotees like Narada and Sanaka and Sanatana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then recognizes him to be superior. The devotees who have developed love of God are certainly in an exalted position.
Okay, very good. So
Hare
again,
Krishna.
we're summarizing our whole philosophy and our whole purpose of being in Krishna consciousness. We're trying to develop love of Godhead. A lot of times we hear devotees, ask, how can I get out of birth and death? How can I get free from all my karma? That's not the goal. You can get free from your karma by many kinds of, different yagyas or something, but it won't completely liberate you. You can get liberated, but the bhakti yoga means we want love of Godhead, which automatically you get everything else. So that's what we should be thinking. We want love of Krishna. Krishna loves us. And so we practice, loving each other, loving devotees, loving everybody, trying to preach. And then we gradually build up. Okay. Any comment on that? It's pretty basic. And the fifth canto, those verses are quoted again, a couple other verses also. They're very, very wonderful verses of Lord Rishabhdev. I think verse 4 and 5 are mentioned. Worth everybody studying. The teachings of Lord Rishabhdev to his sons. He's Krishna himself, and he was giving up being a king and teaching his sons. So I'm going to just read them, the two of them, 4 and 5 are mentioned. Nunam pramata kurute vikarma yad indriya pritaya aprinoti nasadu manye yata atmanoyam asanapi kleshada asadeha. So indriya priti means like love. So we're supposed to be Krishna priti, but indriya priti means I love my senses. I'll do anything to satisfy them. When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad after materialistic living and engages in sinful activities. He does not know that due to his past deeds, he's already received a body which, although temporary, is the cause of his misery. So that's what happens is I'm suffering in this body, and then I think that sense gratification will relieve my suffering. If I just get some comfort, if I get some food or I get some sex, then I won't suffer. Not knowing that the sense gratification itself is what gave us this material body, which is causing so much suffering. And it's an endless cycle until somehow we get rescued by devotees. And devotees who have been rescued feel compassionate and want to help others. Actually, the living entity should not have taken on a material body, but he has been awarded the material body for sense gratification. Therefore, I think it not befitting an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activities of sense gratification, by which he perpetually gets material bodies, one after another. And then text 5. It's also mentioned in the purport. Parabhavastava bodha jato yavanya jigyasita atma tattvam yavat kriyas tavad idam manovoy karmatma kamyena sharira bandha. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear, and as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body. All right, so next is getting into understanding the gopis, which is most inconceivable. Of all these devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior. Who would like to read this one? Who hasn't been reading? I haven't heard Robert Nath. That's a new one.
Robert Nar, Prabhu, are you with your book there? Can you read? I can share on the screen.
Niti Laksha is another one I haven't seen before. So
Nitya Lakshma Mataji.
one of the Maharajas read now.
Okay, Nitya Lakshma Mataji, you want to read?
I want to read.
Gandhari, actually. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. We're in test 10, right?
No, you can continue.
Okay.
Of all these
Translation.
devotees- No, of all these devotees, the purport, the continuation of the purport. It's on the screen.
Okay. Of all these devotees, the gopis are recognized as superior because they do not know anything other than satisfying Krishna, nor do the gopis expect any return from Krishna. Indeed, sometimes Krishna puts them into extreme suffering by separating himself from them. Nonetheless, they cannot forget Krishna. When Krishna led Vrindavan for Mathura, the gopis became most dejected and spent the rest of their lives simply crying in separation from Krishna. This means that in one sense, they were never actually separated from Krishna. There is no difference between thinking of Krishna and associating with him. Rather, Vipralamba Seva, thinking of Krishna in separation as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, is far better than serving Krishna directly. Thus, all the devotees who have developed unalloyed devotional love for Krishna, the gopis are most exalted. And out of all these exalted gopis, Srimati Radharani is the highest. No one can excel the devotional service of Srimati Radharani. Indeed, even Krishna cannot understand the attitude of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he took her position and appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to understand her transcendental feelings. Shall I
All right.
continue?
Okay, no, it's just, so this is getting into the topmost philosophy, which we hear a lot about it in the later parts of Chaitanya Charitamrita, this feelings of separation. I think we all experience, something like that. If we lose something and we cry, we think of that thing much more than when we had it, right? So it sounds cruel, like mundane people think Lord Ramachandra was cruel because he sent Sita away, but actually it was to increase both of them, increase their feelings of separation. So it was actually, special mercy, but the separation feelings sometimes look like misery because someone's crying so much, just where is Krishna? But then at the same time, they're always with Krishna. That's the gopis. That's why Krishna left Vrindavan, and then all the gopis thinking of him so much more intensely even. Or when Lord Chaitanya, he took sannyas, so he left his mother, that sounds cruel, and his wife, but then that really increased their feelings of separation. So they became more intensely ecstatic, but it's a very, not the type of happiness normally we're thinking of. Separation makes the heart go, absence makes the heart go fonder, we say in America. When somebody goes away, you start, like if somebody in our community dies, sometimes it's a person nobody really liked very much. They criticized him all the time. But all of a sudden when he dies, we start thinking, oh, he was so nice. And we start thinking all the good things they did. And we need to practice that before people die. That would be ideal. That they have drills sometimes they do in different conferences where somebody comes in and says, oh, so-and-so was on their way to this meeting and, Kavicandra and his wife were on the way, but they were killed in a car accident. And all of a sudden everybody's going to think, oh, they're such great people. Oh, I'm going to miss them. But previous to that, we may never said that. So, we have to think like that, Bhakti Maharaj said, we should think of the people we're with. These might be the people I'll be with at the time of death. How are we going to treat everybody? Let's love everyone, Okay, let's finish it up. If I don't know, Yeah, there's just one paragraph left.
Remaining, yes, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
And today also there is no Bhakti Baba class, so we can finish it.
And yeah, we're going to have to discuss this one tomorrow, next time, because this is so intense, this whole purport.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Tomorrow we can continue. Yes, Guru Maharaj.
So finish it.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Please, I have a question.
Okay.
Please, my question is here it says Krishna. It is believed that Krishna knows everything and he can do everything also. But then here he's saying that sometimes Krishna does not understand Srimati Radharani. That is buffering my mind a little bit.
You know, that's the simultaneously one and different, you know, the inconceivable potencies of Krishna. That Krishna is the greatest, but Radha is the most beautiful, but Radharani is more beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that.
Mm.
So
Okay, Maharaj.
yeah, it's inconceivable. And that's we can keep that for tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, Guru
Okay,
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
We'll discuss more on the purport tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
We want to read the last paragraph.
Okay, finish it.
Okay, Guru Maharaj. In this way, Srila Rupa Goswami gradually concludes that Srimati Radharani is the most exalted devotee of Krishna, and that at Kunda Lake, Sri Radhakund is the most exalted place. This is verified in a quotation from Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Uttarakhand 45, as quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yata Radha Priya Vishnus, Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata, Sarva Gopishu Sarvaika, Vishnu Atyanta Valava. Just as Srimati Radharani is dear to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, Vishnu, so our bathing place, Radhakund, is equally dear to Krishna. Among all the gopis, she alone stands supreme as the Lord's most beloved. Therefore, everyone interested in Krishna consciousness should ultimately take shelter of Radhakund and execute devotional service there throughout one's life. This is the conclusion of Rupa Goswami in the 10th verse of Upadeshamrita. Hare Krishna.
All right. Okay, very good. Exactly on time. So we're going to do this same verse tomorrow.
Okay, Guru Maharaj.
I take it apart a little bit because, you know, it's an exalted thing, but there's so much to say about it. But just like the question, there's different stories, of course, but Krishna was in Dwarka and he was talking to Rukmini. All right?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Everybody knows Rukmini. So Rukmini said, Krishna, there's something you don't understand. And Krishna said, "What? I know everything. What do you mean? I know everything." And she said, "No, you don't understand how much your devotees love you." And then she started talking about Radharani, and she understands, but you don't understand. You don't have, you know, the feeling for this. You're cruel and you make them suffer. So Krishna said, and right at that time, Narada Muni came. And Krishna said, "All right, in the next appearance, I'll take the mood of Radharani and I'll understand. I'll learn to understand this love that my devotees have for me." And then Narada Muni got all excited about that. And then, so he told Narada Muni, "You go and tell everybody about all the demigods and you go to everybody and tell them about that I'm going to appear in Navadvip and all this." tell them all to appear in different, different ways. It's a leelas. Krishna has so many amazing leelas. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare.
Ghana National Council is there. Who's that?
Hi, Chaitanya Prema Prabhu.
Who is it?
Chaitanya Prema Prabhu.
Okay. I heard that Shastri Prabhu's in Ghana. Maybe somebody should try to contact him.
Okay,
He's
do Maharaj.
up north, though, in the, what do you call that area? Close to Togo.
Okay.
Close to Togo is Volta region.
Yeah, that's where he is. There's not many devotees around there. He might go to Togo sometime. That's what his son told me. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
So tomorrow, again, same time. Today, many devotees came late. It's not very good. It's not acceptable. Please. Well, we keep Guru Maharaj waiting for more than 10 minutes, more than 20 minutes. It's not good. So please, we know the time. We should come on time. Okay? See you tomorrow, same place, same time. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Okay.